Today I am reviewing a Minecraft movie, which is directed by Hess. It's been a mild first 3 months of the year with movies. There have some good movies, yes, but plenty of bad ones and mid ones. I was hoping that Minecraft would be the first movie to start off the year that could bring the movie industry out of this sort of rut it has been in this year. There are so many things you can do with a movie based off of Minecraft, one of the biggest games in the world, and one that has been part of countless children's use. To have a game that is literally endless like Minecraft is, the only thing that can prevent this movie from being good is if the creators don't have an imagination to them based on the limitless canvas they are given here. Jack Black plays Steve, who narrates us at the start about how he was a would-be miner when he was a youth, but wasn't allowed into the mines because of a no-child rule. When he becomes an adult, he is wearing the same outfit he did when he was a child, and working a job he hates when he decides to go back to mining. When Steve stumbles across a blue cube, he is transported to the Minecraft world. We are shown a montage of him building all sorts of cool stuff, taming a wolf pal he named Dennis, and everything seems to be going good for Steve. He gets stuck into the netherworld and is held captive by the leader of the pig army named Malgosha. Worried that his crystal will bring about the dark times for the world, Steve gives it to his trusty wolf to take to the real world, where it is the other principal members of this cast and call to adventure begins. Nothing I say here will deter this movie from likely being one of the biggest successes of 2025. But holy moly, this is a boilerplate movie that lacks any real imagination and has a story that has been recycled by hundreds, if not thousands of other movies. Jason Momoa plays Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, a gaming champion of some sorts that had his 15 minutes of fame back in the late 1980s, and now is down on his finances, owns a retro collector's store, is being evicted from either his home or his business, the film doesn't exactly make that clear, yet acts like he is the coolest person that's ever lived. This part seems to be inspired by the real-life Billy Mitchell. I sincerely doubt many kids who will see this movie will know who Billy Mitchell is. The child surrogate in this movie is Henry, who just moved to this town with his sister Natalie after the passing of their mother. A plot thread that is never followed up on. Natalie is supposed to be his guardian, but they don't have a brother-sister dynamic. They have more of a relationship of two people occupied in the same space-time. I wouldn't mind this being in there if the movie didn't spend a good 20 minutes in the real world trying to establish all these characters. A lot of people in my screening got up and went to the bathroom during this section of the movie because even they probably knew this was inconsequential. But since the film is trying to fill us with would-be pathos of a sister having issues being an adult and being a parent figure to her brother, then we should have had more heart and story to that dynamic. But it is just thrown in there as a plot device and then mostly forgotten about once they get to Minecraft World, except for one heartfelt moment close to the end. The last person that joins our group on this adventure is the real estate agent of the house the brother and sister move into. She's played by Danielle. The child becomes kind of friendly with Jason Momoa's character, and somehow Momoa, I mean Garbage Man, has somehow come across Steve's crystal thing, and that's how they all end up in Minecraft land. But not before we are shown Henry building a rocket that destroys a landmark in their town so we can establish that he has some alleged creative mind, but one that has been bullied by the kids in school, because how many times have we seen smart kids being bullied in movies? Once we are on the call to adventure in Minecraft World, after about 30 laborious minutes, then the uncanny kicks in, where the real world people interacting with this CGI world looks completely phony and not believable for a second. There's a sequence involving them having to deal with the nighttime problems of Minecraft, such as skeletons, creepers, zombies, etc. And our child hero instinctively knows how to build a 3-story tower within minutes because he accidentally punched a tree. So, fan service is what made our child hero smart to the rules of Minecraft? Okay, got it. What follows is constant MacGuffin chases, a villain who cackles a lot, explosions happen, fan service occurs, and on and on. While this movie is nowhere near as bad as the Electric Straight from earlier this year is, I'm going to be hard on this movie because they had a chance to make something truly special here, and they just decided to recycle plots that had been used in films such as that awful Borderlands movie from last year, the Spy Kids series, Ready Player One, and countless other movies that I can think of off the top of my head. Remember the bad movie Red One from last year? This story basically has a similar structure with its adventure, right down to a sequence taking place in a wrestling ring while our child hero battles an Enderman. The sequence reminded me of the scene with Krampus from Red One, where it took forever and was only there for would-be comedy that didn't land for me at all. The biggest problem with a Minecraft movie is down to two almost fatal flaws. One, the setting of the world outside of the Minecraft world, which has some weird 80s vibe going on. From the music, the costume design, down to the cars that everyone drives, the housing. I assume that most people who will go to see this movie will be under the age of 25. So will the 80s aesthetic mean anything to those people? And for the people over the age of 40 going to see this who will remember the 80s, do you care about a guy owning arcade machines, having a mullet that is fake as hell, by the way, and all the 80s archetypes being shoved down your throat in a movie that is supposed to be contemporary? I know the 80s have had a resurgence in popularity over the last 10 or so years, but it seems that now the tone is shifting for nostalgia towards the 90s. So it comes off as a movie that was written past the zeitgeist of what is popular at this moment. The second fatal flaw for me is the casting. I love Jason Momoa. He is supremely charming and likable. And Jack Black is, I'll say, hit or miss. But casting him as Steve seemed like a gigantic mistake. But because there are two sequences where Jack Black does his funny singing he is known for, I guess the filmmakers thought that it would be okay. I really think Jack Black is a cool person, and I really like his band, but to say his movie choices have been up and down is being really kind. This movie is directed by the same person who directed Nacho Libre, so his casting makes sense from that perspective. But for a movie that is primarily aimed at people under the age of 25, Black's casting is plain weird as far as I'm concerned. The best character in a Minecraft movie is probably Jason Momoa's character, but not for the reasons the film wants me to like him. He's supposed to be this artifact of awesomeness who puts on the facade of being the coolest person in the room, but he's almost always the butt of every joke. What makes him the best character for me, though, is I think Momoa knows he has terrible dialogue here and decides to make the most of it by being as hammy as he can when he is on screen. He is an executive producer of this movie, so I don't know if this is true, but that's what it felt like to me. There's a sequence where they're all at a crafting table. Steve shows them how to make weapons. And because the garbage man is this has-been of awesome, he throws a bunch of stuff on the crafting table and forges two metal buckets connected by a chain. And it is so terrible that I must admit that I laughed because Momoa sells it really well. There's a subplot involving a villager escaping into the real world and striking up a sort of romantic thing with the assistant principal of the school, and she's played by Stifler's mom, because of course she is, and their sequences were the most eye-rolling, terrible attempts at jokes throughout the whole movie, and the payoff of this subplot only occurs in a mid-credits scene that was neither funny nor cute. It just clanged and clanged every time it was happening. There's also a sequence, without getting into spoilers, where a character is fighting off a bunch of skeletons with TNT attached to them on a bridge in some sort of heroic sacrifice thing. The bridge explodes, but the character magically returns during the finale without explaining how they survived being blown to smithereens on the bridge like 20 minutes earlier. Ugh, screw this movie, man. A Minecraft movie may come off as a harmless children's entertainment, but screw that. I played a ton of the game and lived with two people who have put literal thousands of hours into it, and I refuse to accept this as harmless entertainment. It has characters with no chemistry, forced pathos between brother and sister without any follow-through, awkward CGI that is uncanny looking, and an adventure story that feels like it was written by AI. That's probably the best way to sum up this movie. It feels like a conveyor belt film that was designed by AI. As I said, I know that this movie will rake in truckloads of money, so nothing I say will change that, but all I can do is say that while this is not the worst movie I've seen in 2025, it may be one of the most offensive because it had the chance to take something special and make something truly unique and truly awesome, but instead decided to follow the formula of every movie like this we've seen 1,000 times before. I give a Minecraft movie 1.5 stars out of 4. Maybe audiences will like this movie, and I'm glad if you find enjoyment in it, but personally, I would say forget this movie and just play the game. Or better yet, watch the thousands of fan movies I've seen on the internet that are done in the Minecraft game that are far better than the Minecraft movie is. Okay, so a Minecraft movie. What is everyone's thoughts on it? Please let me know. I really wanted to like this movie, and if you subscribe to my channel, you know that I don't go in automatically hating a movie. I really tried with this movie, but it was just torture to sit through. Anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.